Hello, everybody. Welcome, Heather Billing. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good morning.
Very good. So, we're excited about our topic today. We're going to talk about a subject that touch many people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And because there's so many people that don't feel that well. However, sometimes they don't even know. They just think it's their normal and that's how it is and that's how it's going to be. But there's a better way, of course. And we're going to hear from Heather today. So, Heather, is it fair to say that when you came across Modere products that you were sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Absolutely. And it's really interesting what you say, Marie-France, with people used to feeling a certain way and then they just think that that is normal.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I was actually suffering from was that I just had a lack of energy. And, come 9 o'clock at night, I'd have to be home in bed to get up to go to work the next day. Like I really needed a lot of sleep. And I remember at one point some friends of ours said, "You're always tired. Maybe you need some multivitamins." And I'd sort of never considered it. And I thought, oh, well, it's worth a try. So we went down to the supermarket and we looked at various brands and, looked at the multivitamins. And so I got a brand that I was familiar with and took it home and started taking it and was hoping that I was going to feel like $1 million. What I found over a period of time that it didn't matter whether I took it or whether I didn't. I just was still feeling the same, even though I was taking a multivitamin. The other challenge, of course, that I was experiencing, which I thought that I just had to put up with because that's what I'd been told by my doctor, was that my hormonal system was really out of balance. And it had been right from the onset. So as a teenager going through all of that, my cycle was really irregular, 6 to 8 weeks. I get terrible PMS symptoms, really heavy bleeding. If I was at school, I'd be in excruciating pain, with cramps. And so I'd be in the sick bay, curled up in a ball, waiting for the bus to take me home. And so I'd gone to the doctor and there was not much of a solution that was given to me. When I was 13, Mum took me to our family doctor, who very kindly told me that once I had a baby, everything would sort itself out.
Oh, good solution at 13, yes.
So, and I was kind of told that, hey, you're a woman, this is what women go through, so just put up with it, basically. Get over yourself.
Well, Heather, some people might think that, hey, listen, girl, every woman has that problem and
Yeah.
it was normal and that you were just complaining too much. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Within the family, there was sort of a bit of a history of similar issues. And so it was just like, well, that's just how it is. And it was really interesting because throughout my teenage years and then early 20s, I started to do some research and look for if there were other alternatives, things that I could be doing differently to actually feel different. And discovered was I came across this amazing book, which I highly recommend people to actually grab a hold of. It was called Hormone Heresy, and it was written by a lady called Cheryl Selman. And she was just going through, sort of just talking a lot about the pharmaceutical industry and what those kind of products actually do to your system, how that they're not actually getting to the source of why you may have hormonal issues. And then made all these amazing suggestions about natural things that you could do.
Yeah.
It just was like, why isn't this information available? Like,
yeah,
people are looking for natural solutions. Like, just even one of the things that she mentioned in that book was that if you're having PMS symptoms, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, because that will actually help to alleviate some of the things that you're experiencing. And I thought, well, everybody can actually do that.
Yeah, something that simple. Why not everybody knows that?
That's exactly right. People that are suffering polycystic ovary syndrome, which is very, very current in a lot of young girls, young females. And one of the challenges with that is that you actually crave carbohydrates. So if you're able to get through that process and eliminate a lot of carbohydrates from your diet, then your condition will actually improve. Yeah. And of course, we know now too that taking supplements and supporting the body and healing it and bringing it back into balance is what really, really makes a difference as well. So that was the information I came across, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. In that book, she also spoke, Marie-France, about a hormone balancing cream. And I thought, now this is interesting. It was a natural cream made with natural ingredients. And of course, it was around that time, everything happens for a reason, that you and Peter contacted us and showed us the Modere range of products. And lo and behold, there was a hormone balancing cream was one of the products that was in that range. Mm-hmm. And I remember you saying to me, look, I'm not sure whether this will make a difference, but it's worth a try. And I was like, yes, I'm willing to try it at this point. I'm sick of it. I want to get my hormones balanced. I want to have more energy. Because I was only in my 20s. They're my party years, aren't they?
Yes.
So I wanted to have the energy to work full time, come home, party all night if I wanted to. Not that I was that kind of a girl, but I wanted to have that option, right?
Yes.
And so that's why these products have made such a profound difference for me. So that's just a little bit of the background.
Wow, that's interesting. So now, what were the first product that you started with Modere?
Okay, so throughout the information that you shared with us, we understood the importance of actually eliminating a lot of the toxic products that we were using in our household, which at the time we had absolutely no idea about. We just were buying things from the supermarket thinking, oh, this is what you use. And all our bathroom products, all our laundry products were just off-the-shelf products. And when you explained to us about the harmful ingredients that are in products and how that your body is, whenever you're applying those to your body, they're being absorbed into your skin, into your body. Your body's trying to deal with them. Your liver's trying to detoxify.
Yeah.
And so it's just another thing that the body has to deal with. And it can be the reason why you're just lacking in energy, you feel tired, because your body is constantly being bombarded by the things that you're using every day in your household.
So we didn't have all of that range at the time, but we had some.
Yes, that's right. So we had some, and we were very creative, and we used, because at that point, I'm pretty sure, if you can remind me, did we actually use the bath and shower gel to wash our clothes in, or?
We did, yes. We didn't have a laundry powder at the time, huh? And
no, that's right.
We used the shower gel.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, to wash everything, dishes, a lot. And did you remember using the hair conditioner? Call it the conditioner you put in
the fabric softener.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
With a little bit of water.
Yes,
could add a couple of drops of lavender or something that smells extra. And and it does the job very well. Very well.
And, the reason that we wanted to use the Modere products for so many different things and not use the standard products that are out there was we wanted to cut down on the synthetic fragrance that's so prevalent in these laundry products, like the laundry range. And sure, it might make your clothes smell good, but the thing is about it that you're, of course, breathing all that in. It's affecting your respiratory system because it's not a natural fragrance that's added to these products. And that's why even washing your clothes a couple of days later, you can still smell the product on the clothes, which is not good. And so we wanted to use natural, non-toxic products so that the things also we were doing nutritionally could heal our body, and that toxic load wasn't constantly being placed on our body, so we could actually start to detoxify and start to get some real
the less chemical possible in our house. Anything that we can replace, we did. Yeah,
that's right, exactly. Because we looked at it and we thought, okay, so what's the Modere equivalent and what can
Exactly.
we change across.
Now, those beautiful products were around then and we still use it for all those years.
Yes, absolutely. And you did a really good job of informing us about the harmful ingredients that were in our products. And when we found that out, we're like, well, we did our order straight away, but we're like, we don't really want to have a shower until our Modere things arrive, now that we know.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was really interesting, Marie-France, was that I was one of those people, I've always kind of had longish hair, and I was one of those kind of people that would sort of have the bathroom floor littered with various shampoo bottles of all the different brands, because one of the things that I'd found that over the years of washing my hair was that I'd start using a particular brand of shampoo and it would be good for a week or so, and then it would just, your hair would be greasy or limp, or you'd have an itchy scalp, or you'd start seeing dandruff. Yeah. And so then I'd move on to another one and use that for a couple of weeks, and then same results, and then, you know, another one and switch back. And so I was trying all these different options as far as shampoos go. And I remember Lawrence complaining about, can't even get into the shower because there's so many bottles of shampoo. So it was really refreshing to think that I could try something that I really did believe was going to be making a difference. And of course I soon found out that it was, the technology was just a totally different concept. It was getting in and it was cleaning, it was doing the job without all the nasty animal fats and toxic ingredients, and leaving your hair feel clean. And like, I remember my cousin getting started on the shampoo and he was that excited because he said, my hair actually bounces now.
Yeah, instead of being so heavy with chemicals that stays on. Yeah,
exactly, that's right. And just to say again, the skin is our largest organ. Everything we're putting onto our skin is being absorbed into the system. And so we're using so many different products, and if they've got those toxic chemicals in them, you're applying them to yourself multiple times a day, every day, for how many years, when there's safer alternatives. And again, of course, getting back to the health aspect of it, is that I wanted to make sure that we were cutting down on that exposure so that I could, you know, start to feel better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ta-da! The happy cream is here.
So then the magic started with the things for the inside. And if you remember at the beginning, I was telling you my experience with taking a multivitamin off the shelf. And so maybe there was a slight bit of skepticism as to whether this was just going to be a repeat of that. But what was really, really interesting was that within such a short amount of time that I could notice a difference. And the thing with the Modere products, and I think this is for everyone, is that it doesn't take months and months and months to actually notice that something's different in your body. Like with the natural mineral drink, which we'll talk about in a second, starting on that, almost immediately my bowel motions actually got a lot more regular.
That's important, you know, like we don't like talking about this, but it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. It makes a huge difference to your health, because if you're not actually eliminating regularly, well, then that's being stored in your body and, you know, toxins are being released. We know a lot now, of course, too, with the many years of learning about this stuff, the association between the gut and the brain, and that if your gut's not working properly, that affects how your thinking is, that foggy thinking, you can't remember things clearly. So there's all that. There needs to be balance in the body for health, basically. And so that's what these products did. And, of course, one of my absolute favourites there is the balancing cream. This particular cream, if you're having a cycle, it's something that you use for 21 days out of the month. When you get your period, you stop for the 7 days, and then day 7 you recommence. And what I found from this particular product within that first month, so when I got my next period, most of my PMT symptoms that I was experiencing, with the bloating, the headaches, the really bad cramps, the moodiness, all that sort of thing, was so much less than what I had experienced before. And within the 3 months, I was down to a 28-day cycle, which I had never been in my entire life.
Wow.
So that to me is absolutely, and the reason that works like that is because it's actually going into the body and bringing back the balance of the hormones, because our hormones are out of balance because of so many things that we're exposed to in the environment, the foods that we eat, just generally there's so many things that will throw that balance out. And this is just a support, a natural support to give the body the power to bring that balance about. It's almost like someone holding out their hand and just assisting you up the steps, so to speak, just so you can do it. Similar how it works in the body, it's just giving that little bit of extra support so that the body can use the ingredients that are in it to bring back the balance to your hormones. And so that's why it works so well for people that are in their having their monthly menstrual cycle, but people that are going through perimenopause, menopause. It's safe for children to use because it's all natural ingredients. And it's also great for men to use. Even though it says women on there, I challenge all the men out there to say, yep, I want to use this as well, because of course you guys have hormones, you've got your testosterone, especially very important for couples wanting to fall pregnant, for both the man and the woman to use it, because it does actually support the testosterone, the sperm production and all of that for men just as much as it does for women.
And I believe it was your husband, Lawrence, that decided to call this the happy cream.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it's affectionately known as the happy cream, because when the woman of the household is wearing it, using it, everyone in the household is happy. And also, you just reminded me, Marie-France, of it was shortly after we started using the products, it was the Melbourne Cup horse races. Now, for those who are not in Australia, that's a massive big day that we have. We don't, in our state, don't have it as a public holiday, but if you're in Victoria, it's even a public holiday and people go to the races and watch the horse races.
Okay.
And of course, if you can't watch it live, it was generally a thing that you would watch at work on TV. Like it's been called the race that stops the nation, because people would stop working and actually watch the race. Yeah. I think it's like a 3-minute race or something to watch the horse race. And of course, with that, there comes nibbles and champagne and a few drinks, etc. And this day, Lawrence was at work and they'd had a bit of a celebration, and he'd developed a headache. We actually went to your place that night. And
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had this headache and he was laying there on the couch, and you said, oh, look, get some of this balancing cream. I've heard that if you rub it into your temples and across your forehead when you've got a headache, that it will help to get rid of the headache. So he did it, and right there and then, after a little while, he had no more headache. So
totally. And the D3 plus, what do we have to say about this?
Well, this was absolutely amazing for me, because not only is it great, it's good for your bones and all that sort of thing, because you've got your calcium and your magnesium and all those really great minerals in it. But what I'd learned was that the reason when we get our period that we get cramps is because our muscles are lacking in the essential minerals. And so I would take the D3 as suggested on the bottle, and then when I got my period, because in the past I would actually use like a pharmaceutical, an analgesic or something that was designed for period pain because the cramping was so intense. And so what I decided to experiment with a bit with great success is to substitute out that with the D3 plus. So what I would do, I was taking it on my regular dosage every day, and then when I got the cramping, I'd actually take 2 And like, it did take a little bit longer probably than a pharmaceutical to work, 15 to 20 minutes. However, it did work. So I was like, okay, I'm on the right track here with this. And so then if necessary, a little bit, an hour or so later, if I needed it, I would actually take another 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that that was a way that I could really manage, because the body was crying out for minerals. That's why it was cramping and spasming. And so giving the body what it needed, it was like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So this is absolutely, it's fantastic for using for pain. And of course, the more I got my body in balance and doing all the other wonderful things that we're going to talk about, the less that I actually got the cramps anyway. So it wasn't something that I needed to continue to do, but it got me through that sort of transition period until I got the balance in my body.
Wow. And Heather, should we mention when you were giving birth? If you remember, I gave you that D3 every half an hour.
That's right. Yes.
Just about, huh?
Yeah.
Because that, like, it's a similar pain as the period pain.
That's right. And
I imagine.
you know,
yeah. And so that would help as well, huh?
That's right. Because I wasn't actually, like, I had a natural birth. I didn't have any painkillers. So we were dealing with it naturally. And yes, that was one of the things that was just amazing for that whole process.
Absolutely. Okay, we had, of course, the antioxidant and the multivitamin, which is really the basic. So tell us a little bit about those two.
Yeah, so these were, again, really fantastic. We learned the importance of antioxidants to protect your cells, also to help with the whole detoxification process in the body, because remember, that's one of my things. Like, I wanted to get, I didn't mention this, but I'd grown up on a farm where that we used lots of chemicals. We had a sheep farm, and we used lots of chemicals on the animals. After the shearing, we used to spray them with stuff to make sure that they didn't get disease and all that sort of thing. And we were up in amongst all that, and it gets splashed on you, and you just didn't think anything of it. Just that was normal. But now looking back, I just think of that, how much of that I actually absorbed into my body. And so again, that was like, I really need to do the detoxification. And so the antioxidant is one of the things that's very supportive of the body, and to actually maintain the integrity of our cells and to keep our cells healthy. And of course, then the adult multi as well, just giving you all the essential vitamins and minerals that you need. And this one, you really notice a difference as opposed to the one that I'd taken before, because you can actually, and the reason you can tell the difference is that I couldn't actually take it at night too close to going to bed, because I just couldn't sleep that well. It was kind of energizing and that sort of thing. So you actually could feel that the things were going into your body and actually doing something.
Absolutely. So these are products that we started with and that we're still taking today, every day.
Yep.
Never stop. And minerals.
So I started on the natural mineral drink. Australia is the only country, we were very privileged in that way to have the natural mineral drink, but in other countries we'd suggest the mineral essentials, of course. Very similar products. The natural mineral drink, though, was what I started on, and it's our favourite mud drink. It's sourced from nature. It's got all essential minerals in it. It's 98% absorbable because it's plant-based. It's also got lots of enzymes and probiotics, like it's more than just minerals. But this product, just really, really amazing. So this also started the healing process in my body, I believe, on how it worked. And also just addressing any gut issues. It did help to lift my energy. That was one of the things that I noticed in particular about this, was when I was taking it, I had a lot more energy. And it was also, the more I learned about the minerals, I learned about how important that is in our hormonal cycle. So the minerals are important for every process in our body, and the hormonal cycle is obviously one of those. And if our body's not having the essential nutrients, well, then it can't do the things that it would naturally do as well. And so what we're doing here is we're actually putting all the goodness into the body to support the processes that need to take place. Because unfortunately, we're not getting it out of our food that we're eating. We're living in a pretty polluted environment, the things that we're breathing in. I mean, we just have to look around the house and notice how much dust and how quickly it accumulates. And you think, I'm breathing that in all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, there's so many things out there that putting stress on our body. And so just by supplementing with these few things, I really did notice a difference. My energy levels lifted. As I said, after 3 months, my hormonal cycle was down to a 28-day cycle with hardly any of the side effects that I had, previously been experiencing. And I had vitality. And of course, I noticed other things that I wasn't expecting. My skin cleared up. The shampoo I absolutely fell in love with, and I've just been using the same one, believe it or not, for 20 plus years instead of the multiple bottles around the bottom of the shower. My digestive process started working so much better, where I was so much more regular. And that just is an indication that things are functioning well in the body when the things that would normally happen are happening on regular clockwork type situations. So one of the things too, I remember that very first time that I brushed my teeth, Marie-France, I was just amazed at how clean they felt.
Yeah.
Because I used to work at the dentist, and occasionally when it was quiet times, the dentist would say, hey, do you want to come and get your teeth cleaned? And so you just get in the chair and you clean your teeth, and it feels so clean and amazing. And I remember when I brushed my teeth and used the mouth rinse, and I was like, wow, that's just like it feels when you have your teeth cleaned at the dentist.
Yeah.
I've never felt so clean. So it was great to experience the products and know that they were unique. They were different to anything that I'd ever used before. And of course, then as I started to feel the results, it was like, yep, I'll take these, I think, for the rest of my life.
Well, exactly. So those products that we've covered today, they're the product we all started with, really, because that's what we had in those days. We didn't have so many different things. We didn't have the collagen. We didn't have all the noni here, aloe vera. We didn't have the gut health, the collagen, etc. All the beautiful things, amazing things that we have today. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening today, for being with us. We appreciate your comments. Thank you, Heather, for sharing your amazing experience. That was very, very informative, eye-opener, and also great memories also for us both. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye, everybody. Bye, Heather. Thank you.
Bye.